Alright, muri yeZimbabwe tichiti mangwanana akanaka kusangana kwatiri kuita zvakarepo pano paZimu News update apo patinode kupe mafirst hand update anonga ari kuitika munyika yedu yeZimbabwe. So kana uri mutsva usabve pano usina kusubscribe, kulike nekushare. Sekuzo kwatiri kuita munyika yedu yeZimbabwe zvinhu hazvina kumira zvakanaka apo patiri kuona president Emmerson Mnangagwa varikuda kumisa demo irikuda kuitwa musi wa31. Sei president Emmerson Mnangagwa vada kumisa demo regedzei tikudze mafacts acho kuti munyase kuzwisisa kuti zvakanyasa kumbomira sei. President Emmerson Mnangagwa sekuzo kwatiri kuita kuti mapresident anongokamira negumbo rimwe chete because pakangomobilizwa vanhu military nechichi chimwe unobva watongobva ka1 ndosaka vachityasiyana nadhuma bhokwe pana naBotswana pana yakainde ichilema ana Ramaphosa although vanhu varungoti havakunetsanetsa na Ramaphosa but vakachambomira nemakumbo mairi. Ana president Emmerson Mnangagwa amira nemakumbo mamwe chete ndosaka muri kuona vari kutaura kuti no hakuna tinokanda tegas chichi chimwe vachida kushishidzira vanhu kuita sei vachita zvinhu zvakasiyana siyana muri yeZimbabwe because mapresident agara asingachadiwe because ngatidzoke zvakaita the later president Robert Mugabe ndofunga muri kuona rari dictator rasingachadiwe kana kubviswa anombera 3 days angatodini angatorowa pasi muri yeZimbabwe. So tiri kuona panapa pakanyorwa muri yeZimbabwe pakanzi why are you so afraid Emmerson Mnangagwa? Peaceful protesting and petition are our constitutional right, not a crime. You only ban them because you know the people you've seen through you stopping fearing citizen. Tiri kuona panapa pari kunzi chimbomira kumboshishidzira macitizen avambodini vambomhanye nechimuti timboone kuti zvinenge zvakamira sei muri yeZimbabwe. So tiri kuona panapa tine nhauwa yavanelson chamisa chekusiye muchinzwa pano toziziva kuti kune vazhinji vasingaidi vanonga kuti tuka macomment section vachita zvinhu zvakasiyana siyana vachiita sei vachidini zvakazodai so mafans Nelson Chamisa akangofanana nemafanzi awingi D avatomboteereri kuti wangonzwa kuti Nelson Chamisa deso watanga kutuka vanhu vakutanga kuita sei chinova chiri chiratidza zvinoratidza kuti zvinhu zvinombomira zvakanaka because even kana vanofanira kuteera mafacts kana vachitowanzi bato ravanelson Chamisa reCCC ranga risina constitution ranga risina mastructures ndosaka muri kuona rakangotohwo nemunhu wemustreet anonzi Chabangu akakwanisa kuritora because ranga risina security rarisi secure but vanhu vacho vasinombozviteera unotodzwa kutopopota zvakazodai uri imbwa aiwa zvatidaro zvemhuri yeZimbabwe ndo zvinokonzeresa kuti nyika isaende mberi post tona patakastika pachinhu chimwe chete mhuri yeZimbabwe post tiriona kuti kune vanhu vaitomboita zvemauyu kunana South Africa uko zvemadhudhula zvezvezvi ari makona pakauya vana Fakela Mpakatsi ana Jacinda wakabva wamobilizika ubva watodii ndo zvinofanira kuitwa izvozvo because tiri kuona kuti even katombotirai vamwe vatungamiriri because tiri kuona kuti no ambitions ekuita mapresident yamuwanhu wakawanda but uko ZANU-PF kwacho iye muwanhu wakawanda kuCCC kwakusina kunzwa vasina kuzoita sungano yewanhu iyi yakubatanidza yakabatanidzwa nemachechi nemabishops chichi chimwe kutoti iwana tenda ibiti nevamwe vese vekumaopposition kusekwa Nelson Chamisa ndo wakaramba kuti vanga vachienda kusungano yevanhu muzora nhasi taonawo Vanyatsimba Mutota vanova variwo gamba rehondo yerusununguko vari kukanda maflyers ekuti wange vari nhasi it's Sunday muri yeZimbabwe makuseni pendiri kuita zvinhu izvi izuro pawaita zvinhu izvozvo zvokanda maflyers musi wa31 vaita makanda maskati chaicho tisikazoti zvinenge zvakamira sei because ndo semuzvinhu zvakasungisisawo ana nyoka yemabhunu kusanganisira ana Saruwaka uye kuzoassassinatwa kunyika yeSouth Africa vakanda ndo zvakasungiwa futi ana Madzibaba Shanduko vanga vari wese nana Saruwaka chimwe but tiri kuona kuti Wanyatsimba Mutota vanga vari kutokanda maflyers vachiendawo kupolisi kunotaurawo kutoti no tikudawo sort of like kodzero dzedu dzekuti tinge tiri tinoratidzira kwana Mutare Rusape nezuro vanga vari kugweru tisazive kuti nhava dzachinenge dzakamira sei takwana naMadzibaba Shanduko variwo run zvavo vaitaura kuti Bulawayo Matebeleland ngatisimukei tese wanhu musi wa31 tisazive kuti nhava yacho ichamira sei because tiri kuona kuti ZANU-PF ndo zvinhu zveisikadei izvozvo inogona kutuma polisi nemasoja then zvongovharwa zvinhu izvozvo chinova chiri chiratidzo chinoratidza kuti zvinomira zvakanaka. So ngatinzwei macomrade vari pano vachitaura.
The meantime Mnangagwa in company anototi adzokere kwanenge achiseka don't worry mabaranzi ndaatonodza so wanga achitii kunzi same old munovaziva ngowani maZimbabwenzi anombonetse ngowasvikira nemumvuri chete 2 minutes zvezvadhakwa izvi sawagona mufana mpe mari zatopera
Ometa Sorry, Yago. Mgoma Draco, I'm failing to add you on. Is there any way of just jumping in without me giving you permission?
Hapana mashomanani nyaya iri hapana kana nyaya apa ingori nyaya yekubata kumeso
ndongopedzisa wana ndongopedzisa paunongada kuenda
wandijambira iwe wamboita 30 minutes wajambira
taura kupedzisa ndisanda kubvunza
less than 5 minutes stick around less than 5 minutes because hapana nyaya chokwadi tiri kuchiziva but yangowa habit chete kuti tinongonakidzwa nekuda kudiagnosa zvinhu zviri pachena hapana hapana kubatana kumeso ndambonzwa Scott panapa achinditi you have to sit down with politicians and ask them questions. What questions am I
Sorry,
going to
Omeda
ask?
and Adzoka. Terra, but I couldn't answer.
Oh,
I had also asked you about Destiny. I know this guy wants to speak, but we can always pick back up just to be ningiri. But Angatara Jayuti is what is destiny? What does it mean? Kuti ane destiny. Zvimwe zvese zvine basa rese.
ndo pandataura ndikati ukaona munhu anoda kupinda nekona rechechi rekuda kucreata some sort of mythical zvekunzi unorota ucharotswa. Politics hadzina izvozvo. Upenyu hwevana humirire destiny. Kukura kwemwana hakumirire destiny. Nzara haimirire destiny.
That's what I referred to as mental illness.
Right. Saka kona iroro rakari master. Ndosoka uchiona machechi ana makandiwa nevamwe vanhu vaya vanoita zveminana achithriva. Because maZimbabweans we believe in that. Throw them something to go and ponder on and dream on. Destiny in real time. Nzara pane painomboti aiwa izvezvizvi nzara handisi kukurovai maZimbabweans because takamirira destiny. Panotanga destiny ndo panchakurovai. No. Kusiyana kwedu nemawestern worlds aya. Vanotaura zvinhu zviri logic. Road rinoda kugadzirwa. Ende munoshanda bhadharai mataxis tigadzire road. Hospital vanhu vanoda kurapa kwete kunzi pachazonzi destiny paichazoita come to life. Tozotanga kunzi mahospitari akushanda. Chimbomira nyaya yekuvharwa nevanhu vanoda kuuya nekona rechechi. Mafraudsters aya. Mafraudsters. Zimbabwe ruda pro action kwete zvese zvatiri kuda kunyeberwa nazvo. But hamuzvioni. Don't approach politics uchitaura vanotiziya nerimwe gore. Destiny. Who are you? Are you making yourself into this Chico, this grand Chico character?
And then also the fact that my demonstrations, I was that 31 July when we went up my demonstration, but here I was so in Zimbabwe. I didn't get my demonstration. So here at my demonstrations, they are supposed to be organized by the people. Saka basara leader derechi iwo kana usiri kuita manage people kuti hande iti chinoita fight constitution apa ndo pakashata apa ndo pakanaka apa ndo pakashata. And also, he also says, go ahead.
He has made it clear from the get-go. But because kana uchifarira munhu chakaipa chese chaanoita haudi kuchibvuma. Shamisa wants to be ushered. Aroda kutakurwa. Musvika unzi kwachena here. Zvonzi clear. Zvonzi alright. Otakurwa. Zvezvo zvakuita Idi Amin achitakurwa nevarungu vakamisa pamapendekete. Osvika ogadzikwa, opiwa chikafu, ogezeswa. Onzi right, chiitai zvamunoda, takugadzirai nzira. Hakuna zvinhu zvakadaro zvinoitika muupenyu. You have to be in the trenches. You have to sweat. You have to have cuts, bruises. You have to earn your stripes. You can't play two. Hakuna zvinhu zvakadai izvozvo zvakamboitika. Furai maziso, hapana zvinhu zvakadaro.
And then one last thing is, he says CCC has not fallen. What does he mean when over 150 councillors and MPs and legislators were recalled by Shabangu? And the Supreme Court dismissed every legal challenge. What exactly is he saying is still standing? And this kunzwisisa inini atina kunge ndiri kumcriticize ndikuda kuti ndinzwe articulation yako mudhara kuti ko chii chatasara nacho zvanguva mamvemve biti akabuda off team party panguva yavanga vaifanira kutotaura nezvesadhak vakangosiya vachiva kuenda kumacourt. At what point can we say my brother cannot do brain surgery? At what point can we say my brother cannot drive an aeroplane we are going to crash? At what point is competence going to be of value to the Zimbabwean person?
Rega ndikuvhunze izvezvi zvipaiswa cap 3 panapa yatove an act. What are the disadvantages? What are the constraints?
Child of Zim, can you read what I sent you in the inbox? I want people to understand. People like Divine Mafa. Child of Zim, are you there?
Iwe unopa co-host
I
mane
can,
boyfriend yake achinga.
I want you to read you the interview politely.
Fabish,
I want people to listen
Uno
after
Chido.
one speaker or two speakers, after Omeda and Fabish, or the new guy.
Fabish,
Ometa na divine vaneta.
Anga
Fabish.
andibvunzawo kupedzisira
Uno Chido.
Ndinokurovai. Ndinogona kukurovai mese panapa nhasi.
Uno ndingaramba
Hello.
mukwashe uno. Unopa ndicharamba
Oh.
mukwashe.
Yeah.
Muchinge.
Okay. Ndozoti mukoma Fabish manda kutaura, but mukoma Draco vangu vachitambura kuti vapinde. I think he wanted to respond to something. Can we just engage? Can we
Koini
already?
ndani mhoni. Indani mhoni kumagaro maenda angogara panapa.
Mukoma Fabish muda kuenda kupi? Chimbomirai.
Ndopinzenye.
Aiwa guys.
Taura kudrago.
Draco taurika. Then I'm gonna read what I was told to read by Mukoma Scotty. Then so that at least, okay guys, let's try to the conversation yeduka include vangvani, like small brain thoughts, then somebody responds to a brain thought.
Chido
Ikava
ndikumbura
a long
kulenda my
one.
sister, if it's okay ndilende less than a minute. Ndoda mubvunzo wandoda kubvunza mazimbabweans ese chete ndobva ndalenda.
Okay, all right.
2017 pakaitwa kuna naMnangagwa vakabvisa Mugabe, opposition ndipo here pakapera hondo yenyu yekuliberata the common man from nhamo nekutambudzwa kwataiitwa naMnangagwa naMugabe necrew yavo. When you went to attend inauguration, was that not an endorsement? Was that you conceding to say, I will now follow you? Hatichazive pamwe ndo pamakatangira chikaranga brotherhood yenyu yaunoti mukoma vangu. Because kana iwewe uchikwanisa kuti unorambidza vanhu kuita zvinhu zviri kunzi ngatirwisei mudzvanyiriri, asi munhu iye 2017 kuenda kuinauguration was a statement yekuti I endorse you, I endorse you. Ndo pamakapiwa mhinduro ipapo, nekuti dai anga ari munhu ari steadfast ane chinangwa chekuziva kuti muvengi ndiye uyu, aigara atoudza vanhu kuti number 1 musabude muroad, number 2 atiende kuinauguration because ikambani imwe chete yapinda ihope chete dzachinja. Asi vakaenda vakanogara ipapo. Waenda uchinoendosei? Waenda kuinauguration yani? Wainokorokotedza ani pawakaenda ikoko muna 2017? Ndo mubvunzo wandinawo.
Ndichinanga mbemere. Verenga kwe. Chido.
Thank you. Thank you for the wonderful questions. Now, I think our conversation is now getting very interesting because they are going to include a lot of accountability. My leaders, Edu, what it is that they're talking about when they come to us. I was rather disappointed for a politician coming back. For me, if in that interview, we should have taken the interview to point out my challenges and as Zimbabweans and what he has to offer to solve the Zimbabwean challenges. But then it was so disappointing. But anyway, I was told to read the interview. The direction set 180 days and beyond. Directions already given to citizens across Zimbabwe. Citizen movement is active nationwide. Extensive consultation with communities, leaders, and structures. Nation building is a collective responsibility. Okay, I won't comment. No secret movement. Meetings across the country are open and public. It's about Zimbabweans organizing themselves. Every citizen has a role in building the nation. Accusations on constitutional amendment number 3. Record shows consistent fight against authoritarianism. Fort Mugabe and Mnangagwa. 3 decades of sacrifice and persecutions. Propaganda cannot erase people's trust. On working with Blessed Geza, movement has always been for democratic change. Anyone with the same vision is welcome. Genuine commitment comes from the heart. People trust and elections. Elections are the true measure of trust. Zimbabwe has consistently voted for change. Until another election proves otherwise, the mandate stands. Engagement with SADC. Continuous engagement through meetings and letters. SADC acknowledged concerns, push for implementation of electoral reforms. Zimbabwe deserves credible and legitimate elections. Constitutional amendment number 3, an opportunity. Opportunity to recognize governance crisis together, a moment for civic mobilization, rejects extension of political power without citizens concerned. Constitutional power belongs to the people. Structures in every district. Belief in people's power, not personality. Citizens have constitutional authority. Goal is to organize, mobilize communities, and reclaim democracy. Constitutional changes and power. Issue is bigger than any individual. Focus on protecting constitutional democracy. Fight is for the will of the people, not personal power. Those are the 9 points, 9 answers that he says. And Zimbabwe belongs to all of us. When the time is right, we have collective will and authority to change our country. Let us organize peacefully, unite as citizens, and build a credible alternative. That is the exclusive interview that the former president of Triple C had with Blessed Mhlanga. Can I allow to comment?
No, don't comment.
You people are dictators.
I know you can
Okay,
comment.
no, I'm just joking.
So if you go to comment, I said here the interview it goes into comment. So if you open that comment list, so I think you only have 3 minutes to finish it up, Child of Zimbabwe. So if you press that, it will take you to comments. So that's where I post the rest. So for people to understand,
Scotty,
you
zviri
should
kuverengwa
read it,
nachido
press it,
idialogue here kana
then
kuti
you say.
maquestions.
Scotty, can you just allow democratic values just to prevail? It's not all of us who want actually to eat it. You have placed it on the Jumbotron. It's there. Anybody who wants to read it is there. You have been advocating for this for almost like 3 days, 4 days. It's like as if though you're towing one line, you're not now allowing now different thoughts to prevail. Yes, we know you're going to host him. Yes, bring him. We want to fry him when you bring him, actually. We're not going to be merciful.
Scotty, Mkoma Scotty, Mkoma favor. I'm failing to see where I can accept people's the request to join. Is there any way that it can be done? Because I have to first cancel and send the request. Can you help?
Chido, izvo zvambochiverenga maquestions here kana kuti idialogue.
That was an interview
It's
that
an
was
interview.
done.
Handai kana chandanzwisisa.
That was the interview that was being done.
It's there on the Jumbotron. It's there.
I think kana iri audio uchiona vanhu vachitaura is better. Kuverenga kune kuchitoda munhu ane maskills ekuti tizive kuti is this a response, that's a question, response question. Hapana
It's
chandanzwisisa.
obvious. You could hear the question. You could hear the point form. I read the point form and
Are we
the answers that were given.
discussing that, or are we discussing that, or we are going to we are supposed to discuss the way forward? Because if we're going to discuss that, we'll start attacking a person. Because we will actually deal with it point by point, and we will actually analyze it and tell you that here what he's saying is going to be so. So what are we supposed to discuss here?
Let me hear from others. One of my points I would discuss. Sabuko, Uncle
Because I
Dobbs.
can't discuss interview kairipa apapo kana ndogona kudecipher zvandofunga munhu odecipher zvaanofunga. It's literature, that is literature that is there.
Yeah, I think Fabish are right, because the interview, we won't understand a lot, because we will just goes to what he have responded and try to analyze some people's answers. It doesn't make a lot of sense, because the position of the people is what matters. Your position towards him is maybe what matters. It's maybe what is going to build him or destroy him, or his action, what he's doing. It's maybe he's going to destroy him, because even if we go on the interview, I need to confuse zvakunaka, because pamwe anotaura kuti zvinhu zvinoitwa nevanhu, vanhu vakaita zvinhu zvacho kuti handidi kuparticipate, handingati ndinoda kuparticipate kana kuti handidi kuparticipate, because anombotaura kuti ndezvemacitizen, zvinhu zvinoitwa nemacitizen. Macitizen akatanga kuita zvinhu habudi pachena kuti ari kuzvisapota here kana kuti hasi kuzvisapota. So I don't know kuti vari kurefer kuti macitizen ndivanani. So interview yacho is a bit complex. Maybe zvinoda imi vakadzidza, isusu it's a bit complex kuti tinzwisise kupima.
Isusu tanga chitodawo kuti interview yachona ipenengurwe. I think what we are hearing is vanhu vari kuti munhu mumwe anogona kungoenda kungoiteerera, then at the same time tiri kunzwa kuti it's a complex interview yanga ine ma-complicated responses. So I think to break it down kuti munhu wese anzwisise, I think it's okay, so that we know kuti pavanozouya eventually sezvo takavamirira tetiziva kuti okay, maybe this is where our confusions are. We don't want to then have the president within our midst and then exert a level of confusion yekuti naye andazvaziva kuti wana what exactly do they want to know from me. So I think if there is an opportunity yekuti people can analyze, give their perception of what they think is maybe the direction or where he's coming from, and then if there are any issues that maybe might be outstanding, then we know that okay, pavari kuuya, this is where we are starting. Toziva kuti tiri kufamba ka pane ungoti mumwe anogona kungoiteererawo munhu anogona kuteerera, but umwe munhu anogona kuona ari 9, mumwe munhu anogona kuona ari 6. At the end of the day hatichazivi kuti pavanouya tichavabvunza kuti ndi6 around 9 munguva tautobvunza kuti zviri irrelevant. So I think ngazviendererwe mberi. Hallelujah.
Look at Sunday, if you were Chamisa and you were faced with all these hurdles, impediments, and stoppers that Mnangagwa and company have enacted, what would you do?
Well, that's a question for Chamisa, isn't it? That's why he's the leader. And,
Okay, you as
and that's why I'm a follower. So I would know how a leader would respond.
That's why not one
What?
Those are discussing that interview as much as when we are being asked by Ometa. It's what he said. We don't know until he comes. It's no shamar about Uzamaudi.
Because so if you don't discuss it now, how then will you know the question that you ask?
Something
within the vicinity. Let's just wait for the period. It's for the time. It's a matter of time. And I don't believe in this thing of discussing my interviews, especially when politicians are there. Impromptu asking is actually much better. It actually brings out the truth. A man doesn't have actually to know what I've discussed with you or what I've said about him. I'll ask him direct there and there. And I want to hear the truth from his voice. When he's lying, I can tell you that you are lying.
Okay, take away. Okay, for now, I understand you. Let's take away him coming and answering. But in this situation, he we say get right square. Because he does not have everyone's brain. He has a capacity as a human being to think to a certain point. But iwewe kurukunzwa wakagara naye murikuita strategy yekuda kubvisa gedhi raiswa iri nokulimita upenyu hwako nevakomana vari kutonga. Unoita sei iwewe? Let's take it back to us. Uyu achazovewo zvimirira sekuda serequest yamaita kuti no ngauye azvipindurire tichimuinterrogate. For now iwewe zvaiswa izvi zvinobviswa sei? iwe uneni.
imi mukuramba chamisa imi ndo pane problem mukuita seunonzi mukumuundermina.
Haiwa
No,
Why
mudzidzisi.
mukuramba kuti vanhu
Okay.
vareflect on his interview?
Okay.
so tinga nemaproblems atinenge tinawo, maproblems ari muzimbabwe imi makuswera muchireflecta munhu ko kana akamuka asati auya painterview akamuka achiti haachada kuuya.
Exactly.
Ndandokubana ndo pane problem. You guys are undermining the president.
Hatisitombomaandamaina but tingaine
Excuse me.
solution.
Thank you, zvenyu host. Mavanyararidza vana vasida kunzwa ndichitaura because I don't have a voice rinobhonga. Huh? Anyway, guys, there is a solution to this. We can either listen to the interview together here, muchiti point for point, ndichinyararimisa, then you speak about it. But personally, Niniga, for a politician and a comeback interview from a very, very, very powerful interviewer like Darabi, I'm not going to take anything away from him. I expected more policies to be put in place. I expected more things that are tangible for the people of Zimbabwe to be spoken by him. Probably he did have somewhere where he could say those things, and he said them somewhere. But this is the place where we start seeing the quality of leadership, what it is that he's coming back with from his sabbatical, so that he can bring it to us. So when there is an interview like this and it's shallow, it's empty, it's just political rhetorics, I fail to relate to it personally, but I can have you guys listen to him if you want to listen to him and comment on his and kill his statements.
Because child of Zim, some of the questions that people are asking, might call it rhetoric, but some of the questions they are on this. That's why I said you must read it bit by bit, so that our people, they are very lazy to read and understand. You understand? And that they are less even to go to YouTube and listen to the interviews. So some of the questions they are not even wobvunzwa. It's just maybe ignorance. They are not following and listening to the interview step by step. That's why I wanted you just to read so that they can understand it. It's
I'll
only
make it
16
easier
minutes.
for them. I'll play the audio because reading, I don't sound like him and I can never say his emotions. I would never manage. I don't know how
That's
to
fine.
politician.
That's fine. If you can play that, because I was failing to play with my
You
phone.
can play it. If you can play it, it's cool.
No, I did fail already because
Oh,
my phone yanga needs how to connect to
all right.
that.
Let me
So
try and
voice
see.
langa singa so board. So try if maybe everyone can. Status of the citizens in 2023, and nobody's done that. Nobody's that record. So how do they then come and say they are better off? And the men I defeated, and the man who has taken everything away from me, is the man I've sold out to. But of course, people can say whatever they want to say. My record speaks for itself. That's why people have confidence in us. They know that we are consistent. For the 3 decades I've been in this fight and in the trenches, I've never taken a cent of ZANU bill. ZANU Musaga, say sugar. You must understand that. When ZANU bribes you, they will advertise you. And those who have taken money from ZANU know. But for me to be accused when I have scars and wounds because of this tyranny and dictatorship is regrettable. But of course, it comes from the detractors who have never supported us. So yes, they will always say that because they hope that they will detach us from the people. But we're not in people's minds or people's lips. We are in people's hearts. We can't be taken away from the people's hearts. Some people say that you should have joined hands with the late Blessed Giza when he spoke about street protests. Who should have joined hands with the other? Giza should have joined hands with me. Because we have been in these trenches. So Giza was saying something, he came to join us. It's not as if Giza is inviting us to something. But again, you listen to people who are quislings and counter-revolutionaries, who have nothing but to be the opposite to the opposition. They hope that in their propaganda, they will be the alternative to the alternative. But tell you what, genuineness cannot be manufactured or engineered. It comes from the heart, and we have exuded the same. And that's why people...
Yeah, we can just then stop there.
Please, can I listen?
Because,
Can I hear something again?
Hands with the late
yeah.
Blessed Giza when he spoke about street protests. Who should have joined hands with the other? Giza should have joined hands with me.
because we have been in these trenches. So Geza was saying something. He came to join us. It's not as if Geza is inviting us to something. But again, you listen to people who are quislings and counter-revolutionaries who have nothing but to be the opposition to the opposition. They hope that in their propaganda, they will be the alternative to the alternative. But tell you what, genuineness cannot be manufactured or engineered. It comes from the heart, and we have exuded.
Who is he saying is opposition of the opposition?
Zanzi, detractors are hoping to be there. He's just saying it holistically. Whoever is going against me is hoping to be the opposition or wants to be the opposition to the opposition. Not anyone in particular, but those that are against whatever he says he's doing.
Okay.
I think anyone who Murumo, let's not generalize it. You can hear from his tone and how he keeps saying the people. Yeah, anyone who but it's just that he cannot name
All
them.
right.
So to then say holistically, I don't think it's an accurate reflection of what we are hearing. Yes, yes. Warutomaka, yeah.
But as holistically, because I now mention out who it is, those are two towers. I mention any individual here. He just said generally. Kuti vaya vanondivenga vachifunga kuti vanokwanisa kundireplace ndozvaari kutaura. Handizve.
It appears ari kuti patorona vanhu vari kutopusha a narrative, not just kumuvenga, but kutopusha a narrative. That's what he's saying there. Unless you want us to replay it, and I don't know.
Because I want to first understand what he was answering to and what he answered, and what I heard.
Abvunzwa kunzi uri kunzi wakatengesa ndopaazoti zana idyirwe musaga seshuga. Variko vanhu vari kufamba vachitaura izvozvo vari kuhopa kuti they can be a replacement or they can take my position, but inini handisi mupfungwa dzevanhu, ndiri mumwoyo mevanhu. Saka vanhu hapana kwavanoenda nekuti vanhu vaneni mumwoyo yavo. Ndo zvazvibvunzwa. Uri kunzi wakapiwa mari. Haiwa madetractors. And the people will never leave me. Ndo zvaari kutaura apa. I don't know pasina kunzwisisika apa ndepapa.
Saka ndanga ndichida kukumbirawo kuti dei maanalyza unity yaari kutaura with the citizen nekulonja kwaakaita chakwati tisati taenda zvokutengesa. I think zvokutengesa apari right, hapana paifanira kubatana naGeza. Geza aitaura kuti ndoda kuti Chiwenga apinde. So yanga iri paper 2 yai. Handisi kuziva kuti muri kucomplain chii. Kuti tingabvise kuti Chamisa aifanira kurwira kubatana naGeza vorwa neagenda yaGeza yekuti hanzi Mnangagwa ngabve. Geza
let me
Chiwenga agopinda, because Geza was very clear kuti Mnangagwa ndo anofanira kuenda.
No, my brother Dob, sorry, I agree with you. But I want to state that President Chamisa has been asking Geza to do a coup. Vice President BT was also asking that Section 208 must not be removed from Camp 3. It should be implemented, should be fought so that the military can always intervene to defend the constitution. Clearly, BT does misunderstand what 208 means. It means that the military should stay out of politics. But the fact that they are drumming up that the military must do a coup right now, if you look at a lot of people like Komichi, how I fell out with Komichi, he was pushing, even having Chiwenga to call me to try and recruit me to support Chiwenga to president, I take over after Mnangagwa and support kuti vanhu vaite mademo kuitira kuti Chiwenga agotora power and agoita government.
No, divine. Kana uri kustates usataure mawords anoita kuti vacho vanenge vari paground vave in danger.
The point is, inini
because
kutaura. All right, okay. Let me
what will happen
let me
kuna Chiwenga, we don't know.
Tikupanzwa
Aiwa,
ipapa.
musiye Divine ataura, unomuprotectire, musiye ataura.
Handisi
Divine
kuprotecta
taura iwewe,
Divine,
zvaunoziva iwe, unotongwa iwewe nevanhu vako.
ndiri kuprotecta Chiwenga
You're
Aiwa,
protector.
ngatoprotectiwa, people have been suffering for too long here.
Okay.
Divine taura zvauda kutaura iwewe, usabvumidzwe kunyaradzwa.
I don't know why Katsande decides to be a co-host when I'm there. Do you by any chance feel like you are better at co-hosting than I am?
ndo maitiro avo nevamwe vake vanongouya vachingodisrupt.
Okay.
Chido, why are you
Okay.
even being
I've
civil
got
with
one
him?
thing that I do have a problem with is when we're going to mention people's names, we might as well put out the V11s, because I don't want to be caught up in gossip and co-host and this was said about me and all that, and you didn't protect my name and all that.
Sis Chido, Sis Chido, you and I know we both work na Komich. He wrote it in black and white. That is the reason why I fell out of United Opposition, was he was advocating to work with Chiwenga, and ndakatodzingwa nekuti ndairamba kushanda na Chiwenga. He put it in black and white kuti vari kushanda. I had a call from Chiwenga. So this is what the opposition, BT came to England. He advocated that the military must go into the streets. They are looking to violate the constitution by doing another coup.
Okay.
Again.
Divine, hey, you're getting me dizzy, my guy. You're getting me dizzy. That's too much information. And I still want to be able to go and see my family in Zimbabwe. So, okay, I will just appreciate. I'll just appreciate Divine has decided to tell us some hot news. Scotty, you'll need to call these people so that they can clear their names, if there is need to be cleared their names. Anyway, shall we continue, or there's somebody who still wants to say something else?
Ndoda kucontribute awe baba.
Neniwo ndoda kucontribute.
Please go ahead, guys.
Yeah. So pambopiwa example yekunyeba panapa. Yekuti hanzi ukaona wako kuti wadaidzwa naChamisa, Geza ndiye angari munyukama kuopposition. Saka haasi iye aidaidza vanhu kubirthday. Munhu akagara ari kuopposition ndiChamisa. Saka Geza paakafunga kuti akudawo kujoina vanhu vari kuopposition kuti aidha vabvise ZANU-PF kana kuti vabvise chipande cheZANU-PF, ndiye aifanira kutotaura nevanhu vari kuopposition kuti vakomana, ndimagara muri munyaya iyi. Ini ndau iyowo ndifunga kuti ndingaedhere my voice kuti tiite what you
During that battle, yengo yageza ndiana ngaita initiative yekuataka Mnangagwa ndiani.
So
in that moment,
just hold on. VanaChamisa have been attacking vana Mnangagwa neZANU-PF since 1999. Zvekuti Geza wazouyo
battle.
But Omid, you have to understand.
Particular battle cannot define a war. Just hold on. Can I finish my presentation? Yeah, I want to zoom into there. A particular battle cannot define a war. It's only part of the war. There are people who have always been fighting the war. So you can't say just because you fought one battle in a war, therefore the whole war must now be categorized according to how you want it yourself. So Chamisa is very right. Isusu have always been fighting this war. And if he had a particular battle that he wanted to fight in our war, he should have come to us and talked to us about this particular battle that he wanted to fight. Akaenda pa social media. Akataura pasocial media
Geza
kukoka.
aikoka munhu wese.
You should have sat with him behind the scenes otaura kuti guys ndo zvatiri kuda kuita kwete kuti pasocial media. Chamisa asi mwana mudiki
Chamisa anotadza kuuya uzotaura newe iwe
Chamisa hatombowaniki
Chamisa
ukada
hawanirwi
kufonera
kupa
adairi
aimuwanira kupi
iwe
Chamisa adaire phone.
vana komichi
I've got a problem.